Hi everyone, welcome back to the podcast, and I'm wishing you a happy Wednesday. Yesterday I wanted to talk about 5 books. Unfortunately, the podcast kind of went on, and I cut it short and I left it at 3. Today is the 4th book which I want to talk about, which was part of that 5. And if it doesn't get too long, I'll get into the 5th one today. Otherwise, I'll do the 5th one another day. Today, the book which I want to talk about is by a Navy SEAL. His name is David Goggin. You guys must have heard of him. It's very famous, his book. It's called Can't Hurt Me. It's a book about his life, what all he went through. He went through a lot of prejudice. He went through a lot of abuse. And it cases his incredible journey which he went through in his life and to achieve success. And he kind of walks you through how he went about it, how he realized his shortfalls, and how he could overcome these problems he was facing, and how he could move forward. And most of it has got to do with mental fortitude and mindset. Mindset is the most important thing according to David. Nothing else matters. If you don't have the mindset, and if you don't work on your mindset, you can't do anything else. So it's called, he introduces this concept called the 40% rule. He truly believes most of us always are at 40%. Be it trying to do something physical, we give up at 40%, we're like, we draw the curtain there and we say we can't do it. Be it reading a book, we start getting into it 40%, and then we feel tired, whatever reason, we call it quits. Even when we take a job, we do 40%, and when things start getting a little tough, a little hard, we pull the plug. He says you have to push past that perceived wall, as we call a runner's wall, or any other way you want to determine it, identify it. It's a notion that you cannot go past this. This is where it stops. He says, no, it's not true, that you can push past this. And only when you push past this, do you break this mindset of what's holding you back, where you really start growing and start pushing forward. We've seen this in nature all the time. We see it in all kinds of situations in nature where like a plant or a tree is blown down and we think that's it, it's over, it's going to die. Then suddenly, even though if you leave the tree there in the forest or wherever you leave it, it somehow finds life again. It creates new roots and it starts growing again. That is the kind of idea what he's talking about. It's a mindset. You want to achieve something, you must really want it. And if you really don't put your heart and soul behind it, there is no way you will do it. And the biggest person who prevents you from achieving anything in life is yourself. Nobody else. Nobody can get into your mind and create what you're thinking. All the thought which generates in your mind, you're creating it yourself. And it's some feedback which you keep giving yourself. So if you don't want to be doing something you're doing in life, it is you who has to pull yourself out of it and move forward. So how does he say you have to do this? He says you have to constantly step out of your comfort zone and you have to constantly challenge yourself from being anything. Let's say you want to have a weight loss, start walking, start controlling your food intake. You must really want it. Same way when we're talking about investing and becoming wealthy, you must really want it. You must really start cutting your expenses down. You must really start investing. You must really start reading. That is the way you challenge yourself and that growth happens. Then he talks about accountability. Accountability is telling yourself, what are you doing? Looking at yourself every day and saying the importance of taking responsibility for your action and saying, this is what I am doing. This is where I am. This is what I plan to do. Today, end of the day, taking a stock. A lot of stoicism is also involved in this, where you talk about starting your day with a certain plan, which I talked about in a couple of podcasts ago, where you have a mental day, you start a journal saying these are the things you do. But the end of the day is more important. Before you go to bed, taking an account, pulling out that journal saying, okay, I was supposed to do A, B, C, D, E, F today. What did I do? Did I do A? Did I do B? Was I satisfied with what I did? That is called taking accountability. And unless you take serious accountability of what you're doing, you will not see progress. We would all like to imagine that we're doing something. I'm doing something. But only when you put numbers behind it and really see what you're doing, will you see any growth. That's why I keep on talking about workouts and gym or weight loss as an example, because there you can really see numbers. You can actually see your shirt getting looser, your pants getting looser, or your muscles getting bigger, whatever, or the reps you're doing. You're able to increase the weight capacity, or you're able to increase one more rep. You really see that accountability happening. To do all this, he talks about the power of discipline. You must develop discipline. Discipline is the ability to concentrate your mind and to focus and to say, must do this, I need to do this. And you do it regularly, repeatedly, over and over again. No matter what, you don't give yourself an excuse. You don't care if it's raining, you don't care if it's sunny, you don't care what is happening. whatever is happening, you continue doing your work. I don't care if today is a band. I don't care if today this is not happening. You push yourself and find a ways and means of achieving your goal. And that is called discipline. Then he says using pain as a stepping stone. Since he went through all through the abuse, physical abuse and mental abuse in his life, he says it's very easy to play a victim card. It's very easy to get into a position and say, I was born into a poor family. I was born without education. Yeah, so you were born into a poor family. So you were born without education. So you don't have the exposure. So you don't have this. You can keep giving excuses. He says that, sure. But he says you have to change your mindset around it and you have to say, okay, this is where I'm starting from. It doesn't matter. My vice principal famously told us this in school. He says it's great to be at rock bottom because when you hit rock bottom, there's only one way to go up. There's no other way to go. Same way, he says it is important to use every experience, even the bad ones in your life, as a stepping stone and learn lessons in it. If you have gone through something bad in life, there is something good in it. Like very famously, Buddha said, if you have a fruit, there is good and bad parts of the fruit. You should learn to cut out the bad parts of that fruit and consume the good parts of the fruit. Same way in any experience in life, there is, even if it's something dramatic which has happened to you, you personally, when you reflect on it, without anybody else, when you reflect on it individually as a person, you will be able to find some facets of that experience where you can learn something from. It doesn't have to be a good experience, or you don't have to try and justify it in your mind as a good experience. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is there are some lessons which you'll definitely be able to learn from it. Even Viktor Frankl, who wrote that book, he was a man who suffered in the German concentration camp. Through even that horror, he came out and he was able to see something, which is the human spirit, the tenacity to survive, and he wrote about it, which is another great book which you can read. So this is what he talks about. So you guys will be listening to all this and saying, okay, great. You're talking about motivation. You're talking about how to improve your life. All well and good. But this is an investing channel, Vinod. So why are you talking about this on this platform? Well, this is exactly the reason why I'm talking about it. It's got everything to do with the investor mindset. Investing and becoming rich is about a mindset. Warren Buffett is successful because of his mindset. Charlie Munger is successful because of his mindset. And that mindset, even Nassim Taleb is successful because of his mindset. Because always as an investor, what you're going to find is you're going to find Mr. Market sitting there and contradicting everything you say, contradicting everything you believe in, constantly creating doubt within yourself on what you have studied, what you researched, all the work which you did. And you'll be seeing that in the market, it's not reflecting. That's why very famously Keynes said, market can remain far more irrational than you can remain solvent. Meaning, you sitting and waiting for that market to correct or the market to crack can be a very tiring and mentally grueling thing to do. Waiting for it to change. Though you know the price is overpriced, everything's too expensive, market is overpriced. But everybody keeps telling you, no, it is not so. It is a bull run. Everything is hunky-dory. Earnings are going up. Everything is going up. But you know, and you have to hold on to that belief. And you have to have that discipline to wait. And that is a very hard thing to do. That is where this thing, can't hurt me, comes into play. Where that mindset you have to learn to develop. That mindset is what is key to becoming a great investor from a mediocre investor. That mindset is what will tell you, okay, will help you get over that sunk cost fallacy of saying, okay, I put money in this, it was a bad decision, I've lost some money, it's okay to cut my losses now and pull out of it. Not hold on to it and say, no, let me just wait a little longer. No, you made the mistake. There's nothing wrong in it. You learn from that mistake. You use that mistake as a stepping stone to not repeat that mistake, cut your losses and move forward. And at the same time, where you're seeing your profits, where you're seeing your growth, you do not get scared and cut it short. You'll have the belief and the mindset to say, okay, I made the right bets. I can see it growing now. Then you'll hold on to it and wait for it to keep growing and become a multi-bagger. This is why I'm saying you should read this book. I know this book is being sold as a book about fitness. It's being sold as a book about mindset. And you're all thinking, what is he talking about it in investing? Why should I read this? This is the reason why I want you to read it. As an investor, it is critical to develop that mindset. To develop that mindset, which is a mindset of steel, where no matter what is told to you, what is said to you, you believe in yourself and in your research and in your learnings and you hold on to it. And the most critical thing here is the research. You have to be able to do your research by yourself and learn by yourself. Like how for weight loss, nobody can lose my weight for me. I have to do it. Nobody can help me quit smoking. I have to do it. Same way, nobody's going to make me rich as an investor by telling me what stocks and shares to buy or what mutual fund manager is going to buy and make me rich. No, it's not going to happen. I have to do the research. I have to read those books. I have to do crunching numbers. And only when you do that, will you gain the confidence and the mindset to put your bets and place your money in the market knowing where it's going. Of course, I'm only talking in terms of a value investor. I'm not a trader. I'm not a future and options person. So those kinds of things I'm not professing here, and I'm not encouraging you to do that. A lot of you will think right away you can use the same mindset for that. I don't preach that. That's my belief. What you believe is what you believe. Anyway, I hope you found this video interesting and informative as always, and this podcast as informative and interesting as always. That being said, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.